welcome to the Holy Shhh Podcast morning after Monday Night Raw post show. Brand new Monday Night Raw on Netflix. It's your boy ABE from DET.
Do-dum. My name is Chuck Jordan.
Was that the Netflix noise right there? Do-dum.
Do-dum.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Shout out Netflix, man. Just overall, before we get started.
Hey, before we get started, wakey, eggs and bacon.
This was a well-produced show. I'm not talking about writing. I'm just talking about visually, the graphics, the celebrities. This was well-produced. Your thoughts on just the overall of Netflix presentation of Monday Night Raw?
So on SmackDown, I know this is going back, but on SmackDown, I didn't really know how I felt about the blue ring. You know, I'm used to the mats being white, but the mats was blue. But for some reason, the black ones for Netflix, I loved it.
I hated that mat. When its logos on a mat, to me it looked cheap. I don't know.
I wasn't even talking about the logos. I'm just talking about the black mat.
Yeah, the black is cool. The black
mats was cool. And I was like, I don't know why I gave like a whole new aesthetic. From entrances to I mean, I know it's kind of quick, but for Jay's the drone going around him, the whole, like, production wise, like you said, this was on next level. Like I felt like I was there watching it.
Yeah. Shout out Blurred Cartel in the chat on TikTok. He's asking me, is Hogan still on your Mount Rushmore? Yes, he is.
Not mine.
I've been asking
you about
the art from the man. I can separate the career from the actual person. When it comes to professional wrestling, I wouldn't be on this mic today if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. So yes, he will forever and always
be on
my Mount Rushmore.
Hey, those wear glasses. So he's your hero. That's your boy.
I didn't say he's a hero. I just said I acknowledge him for what he's done for the world.
What is the slogan?
Hey, brother, we gotta let people hear us. You're talking over. You're mumbling. We got sound here. This is professional. But like I was saying, he is forever on my Mount Rushmore because of his career, not his personal. That's all I want to say.
I was talking about his career. His career, he did a lot of janky and tough stuff. But you know what? To each his own.
Yeah, let's get into it. Monday Night Raw started off with Triple H in the ring, draped with these sheets. Incredible intro to the promo. He talked that talk. Afterwards, the music hit, and the most electrifying man in sports entertainment came down the ring, pretty much just hyped up the show. He was a promo man, all about peace. So much at peace, he looked at Cody and looked like he buried the hatchet. He even said, shout out to Mama Rhodes. And then before he left, he made sure to acknowledge the one and only tribal chief before the match even started. He had his money on Roman. Rock being neutral. How do you feel about this open?
You can't boo Rock. As much as he was the final, I can't do it with you. I don't know how y'all do it, glasses. My eyes hurt, but I'm gonna do it. As much as you want to boo Rock, you can't boo Rock. He's Rocky, the most electric, the people's champ. So when Roman switched sides and everybody said he's still the final boss, he's still gonna be a heel, I was like, he can be a heel, or just let time play out and see what happens. He came back, people cheered him. So for him to take a side of Solo would have been dumb, considering the whole building just went crazy for him as he just came out. I thought it was genius.
Shout out Coach DTM has joined us in the building. Let's do a little rearranging here. Boom, boom, boom. Click this.
What up, family?
What up, though, man? How you feeling today?
Hey, what man, up, living life and loving it. Man.
We just talking about Monday Night Raw and the overall production of it. It just felt brand new. It felt like something just energetic. Felt a little different, man. Your thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, it was definitely next level. It was next level production all the way through. I was nervous because I didn't want all that buffering and all that. And I like that they even acknowledged that
Yeah.
in the beginning. So it was amazing.
What about The Rock being neutral? Are you a fan of that? He didn't seem to have beef with nobody. He squashed it
Yeah,
with Cody,
I
Roman.
don't think I was feeling that, man. I kind of like Rock when he, going at somebody. So for him
Yeah.
to be in the middle, it was like, all right, cool. I guess I'm for it for the first show, but he got to pick a side.
You got to pick a side. I did not like that. To me, it kind of like almost, what do we do now? Everybody was thinking it was Rock versus Cody at Mania. It don't look like we getting that. Everybody thought it was Cody versus Roman at Mania. It don't even look like we getting that now. So I don't know what the hell happened, man.
Rock's going with whoever the people want. Whoever, and they even said it at the post match. They was like Rome. They told Roman, it was like, you and Rock's trending again. He was like, whatever the people want. And Rock even said it when he was on his Instagram live, was like, whatever the fans want. He said, because last time we tried to interject, y'all was in an uproar. So whatever y'all want to see, y'all make it be known and we'll get it done.
Right.
So since he's a people champ, if the people want to see him fight somebody, make it be known. Rock will fight him. Rock you take him on.
Yeah. But then that leads us to the first match of the evening, Tribal Combat, Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Winner is the Tribal Chief. And now, the new, undisputed Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns.
Come on, man.
Tribal Chief. Yeah, he defeats Solo Sikoa. He's the new Tribal Chief. He gets his necklace, his Ulafala. He gets it placed around his neck by The Rock himself, who acknowledges him. Coach, your thoughts on Solo losing the Ulafala?
Man, this match, for one, I was shocked that it was the first match of the night.
Shocked,
I felt like,
yes.
I was like, wow, they starting with this, so it's definitely got to go up from here. They both did a immaculate job, man. Solo did his thing. I was shocked to see. I wasn't really shocked to see, like, the people come out. I think I was shocked to see Kevin Owens come out, but yeah. I had a feeling something was going on there. But at that point, I'm like, okay, is Drew gonna come out? Okay, it's
right.
But yeah, no. All in all, man, great, phenomenal match. For them to start it with this, let you know the level of the night was gonna be. So I was excited from jump. Let's go.
Check. Hogan thing. I want to say, yeah. But one thing that I was noticing about this show, and shout out Reese Monet in the chat, it was well produced. The whole show, but it was like putting lipstick on a pig. She says, Reese Monet says, Raw was mid. Production was excellent, but that was it. That's the way I felt about this show. When it was all, I was like caught up like a kid. Oh, the lights. But once it was done and I processed it, I was like, this shit was mid, man.
You say mid? I don't know.
It was mid.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I think it was one of the best Raws we've seen in a long. It felt like a PLE to me.
It did. From the production standpoint, I think. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. I like Seth. We'll get to there. But Chuck, your thoughts on Solo versus Roman?
Like this match, and I really like the fact that I like how they started with Rock to acknowledge that he's a new he's been presented to the high chief level, and even though he had no well, you said he had a horse in the race, but he was the one to establish it. Like, no, I'm still the high chief, and even though you're the tribal chief, but I'm still the highest. But I placed it upon you, I thought that was great.
One second, got a little audio issue that I'm about to fix real quick for the people.
Is it me?
No. It was not you.
Is it you?
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna be out for 1 second, but let's speak more on Roman and Solo if y'all can. I'll be right back.
Okay. So Chuck, I know you're a shoe guy, man. What you think about Roman's shoes choice.
Oh, the Kobe's?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
I thought that was I know he a Jordan signed athlete, but I love the fact that he was in even though they were technically in town, but that's still Kobe State, you know. And that's he said he had to have a Mamba mentality. He the shoe game. I thought the shoes were sick, but I'm not even gonna lie. Even just like from the how you said like everybody was coming out. Um, you knew it was gonna be some shenanigans. I just never understand why they wait to the last minute to, like you there's no rules. You could have been came out. Like I understand they said leave everybody in the back, but nobody was gonna leave anybody in the back. And when Tonga and Jacob came out, and I was like, all right, I was like, the Jimmy and Sammy came out. I'm like, oh okay. Then Kevin comes out. I'm like, I see where they're going because Jay and Drew got a match later, so they're not gonna bring them out. They're gonna let them stay on back. But the
yeah.
Kevin one was shocking. But I did like the fact that Cody came out with the full suit. Like, no, he ain't gonna change gear. He came back out with the suit. Like, no, I didn't go nowhere. I'm still here.
I thought he was still in the stands at first. I was looking for him to come out of the stands, but
Shout
uh,
out Chrissy. She agrees with Roman's shoe game. And shout out Chrissy. She just helped us out. We had crazy Hulk Hogan audio playing on TikTok and we couldn't even hear it, but she just told us it's fixed. So I'm sorry for everybody on TikTok who was hearing Hogan's music in the back the whole time.
Why was you playing Hogan's music?
I don't even know how that happened. I don't know.
I keep telling you to stop it.
I
We do
don't
not
even
endorse
know
that
how that
man.
happened.
you about to get us booed.
You
Right.
endorse that man. We do not.
Oh man, shout out Chrissy and the Familia. They won. If you didn't see the Holies, they won Group of the Year. But it's gonna be a fight next year. The Holy Shhh Podcast, we coming. We coming for every title next year.
Let's go.
Shout out Chrissy in the chat. But next up, we get the Women's World Championship match. And like most people expected, the new Women's Champion Rhea Ripley as she defeats Liv Morgan. Chuck, your thoughts on Liv Morgan losing her title finally?
I knew it was gonna happen eventually. I've kind of been over this rivalry for a while now because I never understood when they keep saying, well, if she lost the title, she's trying to get back the title. She never lost, but you lost 5 matches against her. Like, it don't matter how she originally got it from you. She got it from you and been out tacticianing you for the longest. Like, granted, she's been, doing it with hijinks, but that's what heels do. They win it by any means. Because, like, Coach, what's the saying? If you ain't cheating,
You ain't trying.
and Liv was cheating the entire year.
So she was trying.
And she was trying hard to keep that title around her waist. And I just never understood when people be like, well, she never lost. She's trying to get back the title. She never lost. So she has rights to the belt so she can keep. No, you can't keep saying I'm next when you've taken L after L after L. But hey, like I said, I've been over this little match, so congratulations to Mommy, because Mommy's back on top. Yeah.
Coach, your thoughts on new women's champion?
Man, you definitely expected it, but I just didn't expect it to be like straight down the middle like that. Like I expected way more shenanigans to come out of this match, and it wasn't there. So I actually appreciate the fact that it wasn't, and I appreciate the fact that Mommy got the belt back. So now I can be represented, even though Liv came out looking, hey, Liv. But yeah, no, it was definitely. I think it was a good match, and I even liked the endorsement at the end of the match too. It was like the OG came out, Undertaker.
With the Undertaker.
Yeah.
It looked a little awkward. Like when he came out, he drove past her. He didn't see her. He was like, where's Rhea? Then he drove around. Oh, she's at the entrance. And he came back. He looked a little old, like he was lost, man.
Okay,
it might be a little senile.
Might be a little senile.
Okay, now I understood, the endorsement of standing by her, and you got to use them some way, but I was expecting for her to hop on the back of the bike and ride off with him.
That
You
might
can't
have
do
been a
that.
little much.
Why
That
would she be
might have been a
walking on the
little much.
side of him as
But
he's riding the motorcycle? She's walking on the side as they're walking back. I'm just like,
well, in a motorcycle world, you can't do that because that
Yeah,
gives you a different title.
I was just about to
So
say that.
he's a legitimate motorcyclist. So
Yeah.
you
And then
can't you can't
his
just have
wife's front
anybody.
row. Come on.
Right? Yeah, you can't do that.
In the biker world, that means a lot. But Ron T says, I thought for sure Charlotte's music was gonna hit. I
I
did too.
did too. I
I
did
did
too.
too, Ron. I
I didn't.
seriously thought,
Nope.
but Chrissy thought too. I thought he was gonna scoop her up on the bike. She thought the same thing, man.
I don't know biker world. I just know he's on the motorcycle and she's walking. And she looks like a biker chick, and she's just walking on the side of him.
Yeah,
I
she could have got on her own 10 speed and rolled to the back, but yeah, you
Ron
can't
C
do that.
says Taker was drinking Hogan's beer.
hope
F
not.
Hogan's beer. All right. F Hogan's beer. I'm disappointed in WWE. We're gonna get to that in a minute. When we
F
cross
Hogan.
that bridge, we're gonna get to that.
But the segment before this was John Cena.
John Cena. Yeah, we got John Cena getting in the ring. Another hyped up moment that meant absolute. I'm telling you, I maybe it's just me. Y'all agree with me in the chat if y'all want to, but this show just felt like it was masked BS. Like the whole thing, it just felt like makeup on a pig. John Cena's going to be here. What did he say? Absolutely nothing. He told us nothing. He didn't say what was next. He didn't say who was next. He just gave us some hope. Coach, your thoughts on the Cena segment?
I mean, he did. He gave us a little something, man. He gave us some little breadcrumbs. He told us, he was going to be in the Royal Rumble match. He told us he was going to
Whippity-doo.
be, and he said he's going to get that title so that he can take that he can be the higher, what is it, 18 times, 17 times?
17
How many times
times.
is it? 17 times. So he gonna get it. I think we all in agreement that that's gonna happen.
I'm not agreeing. I don't think it's gonna happen.
You don't think so?
I don't think he deserved it. I think they got too many prominent stars to take that away from them. He don't deserve that, man. I don't think he won it. I think he respects Flair so much. He's been saying on a lot of podcasts that he don't want to take it.
Because I heard him, like, my thoughts on like his little speech yesterday was like, I don't want to do it. I know it's not going to happen. And I think he felt the heat from the crowd, like, what? What you mean? And then I think he flipped it out and was like, no, anything's possible. We don't say never. And then he just went from that range, like, okay, let me not get booed off this stage here, because
I think I'm the only one that took it the other way.
What you was thinking?
It was one of those things like, realistically, I'm on a losing streak. Even if I was to be here, I don't want to take anything away from the new guys, but I'm on a losing streak. I haven't won. How many does he say? He says, I've been on this many. So it's for me to just come here, well, I'm demanding this type of match. It's ridiculous. But because I'm a people's, and I always tell people to believe in me and never give up. Let's not give up as a fan base. And if y'all want to see it, you know what? Let me enter these 3 different choices of lotteries. I can either win by the Elimination Chamber. I can hopefully win the Royal Rumble. And I forgot the other third one he said, but it was like, these are your only ways in unless you're on a winning streak. I'm not on a winning streak, so I'm not going to take it away from anybody because everybody knows that's not his character. I'm not going to take somebody else's position, but if I can earn my way in, then I'll earn one, even though the chances of me winning it is slim. But I don't want to not give the people hope because y'all believe in me. So I'm going to put my damnedest out. This whole last year, instead of me just coming in here and just waving my little white flag on anything, I got X many dates. Y'all want to see me do something? Let me try to do something for you.
That is the greatest comment. It is legend status privilege. That is a great comment right there by Chrissy. That's what that felt like, man.
Dude, your dude was the only person on the worst legend status here. And you want to talk about the whole show. The whole show was not bad, though. The show was
here's another comment. Here's another comment. Ryan T, the more I think about it, I agree with my boy. He said it. I felt like it was a glorified house show. We got a comment on TikTok also saying,
hey, you can bring up as much as you want to. All I'm saying is For
You
them
know what's
for this to be the first time on Netflix, we already knew what it was going to be. So if anybody had high expectation, it was a normal Raw. It's not a normal Raw. They wasn't going to treat it like a normal Raw. This was going to be a glorified house show.
I mean, think
And
about
they
it.
were
If you
showing you. They were they think about it. They didn't have no backstage segments. They had no regular story. Like this was literally like we're putting on a show to let you know that we're on a new brand. They did the same thing when they was on USA. I remember they only one that they didn't do it with was NXT when they just switched over to CW. But usually every time they switch brands, it's just a glorified. Now we can do this here. And in 2 weeks we'll get back to our normal scheduled regular shows. But until then, this week and next week, expected to be we're now on Netflix show.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't hear you.
I
This was
mean,
glorified BS. You know what this show reminded me of?
Stop watching.
It reminded me of them TikTok leggings girls be wearing, making their butt look like it's more than what it was. That's what last night's show was, them TikTok leggings. That's what Raw
Stop
was.
watching.
no, think about it like this. Think about it like this. I don't know what your expectations was of the show prior to, but all in all, it was just a regular Raw show, right? So compared to all the other regular Raw shows, you're gonna put it up on a pedestal because it was that much better than the regular Raw shows have been, even though it felt like a PLE, right? So to make a regular Raw show feel like a PLE, I feel like they did an amazing job doing that.
Yeah. I agree. Well, let's get to the next match. This was crazy, man.
Now, if this was
let's
listed
just
as a
start with the
PLE, I would be on the bandwagon of calling it shit like everybody else. I'm not gonna lie, but this was to me. I didn't expect much because I figured
we are getting
just
we
like I
getting some
said,
audio
with the
issue
USA.
complaint. Hey Chuck, we getting some audio issue complaints every time we talk over each other. One of us mutes out. We getting a lot of that on TikTok. So they didn't just hear you. Go ahead. They didn't just hear you. Go ahead. You came back in.
Oh, I was saying, as far as this show, if it was a PLE, I personally would be like, this was a crappy PLE because it didn't stand up to any other PLE. But for this to be Raw, and we've been grading Raw on a very low curve for a while now. And like I said, anytime when they switch brands, it's usually just a glorified, we're here now. Look what we can do here. Like to me, I took what we talked about in the beginning for the highlight of the show. Look at the production that we can do here. Because right now we're not talking about any storylines. We're not developing anything. It's literally us showing what this network is capable of with a bunch of old school bullcrap fillers. And I think that was the only thing I didn't like was all the why is Undertaker out here? Why is Hulk Hogan endorsing this? Why is all these legacy acts here? But I was like, then again, that's what they always done when they switch brands.
Before we get to the next segment, got a couple comments on TikTok. Shout out Sports for You podcast. Dink008 says, I think he was going to eventually turn bad. He just got to give The Rock a moment, talking about The Rock, why he was neutral. Then he also said, I thought Cade was going to show up. Who is Cade? Cade. Who is Cade? Is that some indie guy I don't know? But anyway, and then Gator Life 315 says Stone Cold Steve Austin should have been there. He was Monday Night Raw, Cena, Hogan, not needed. Yeah, I think Austin should have been there, but he's been asking for a very high price from WWE lately that they're not willing to pay. Crazy amount for him to just make an appearance. But yeah, whatever. Next up, though, we get Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. But before we get into the match, can we just talk about Travis Scott on Monday Night Raw, smoking a joint, kids in the crowd coming to the ring. Vincent Kennedy Sr. will be rolling over in his grave right now. Coach, your thoughts on what's his name? Travis Scott.
Vincent Kennedy Jr. Vincent Kennedy Jr. would have been rolling over.
Right.
Aside from that, I didn't even think that was legal.
It ain't.
It's like different licenses you gotta have to be able to smoke indoors like that, for one. But You know, hey, it's Travis Scott, so hey.
Hey, it's just Travis Scott, man. Any thoughts, Chuck?
No, I didn't even understand why he was there.
Well, yeah,
He did that. He did a song or something, right?
yeah,
When
he
the
do.
intro
The
song
Raw
was him.
intro is his song. Yep, the new intro to Raw is his song. But hey, Travis Scott brings Jey Uso to the ring where he goes up against Drew McIntyre and gets the dub with a quick roll up 1-2-3 pin. At the end, Jey Uso is the winner over Drew McIntyre. Chuck Jordan, your thoughts on the match?
Is this sad to say that I thought the entrance was better than the match?
No, because it's what I've been speaking
Alright.
all night. Great production.
The intro is better than the match. In the words of Forrest Gump, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, another situation where the production outshined the actual show. You think the same thing, Coach?
Yeah. I agree. I think this might have been the lowest graded match on the card.
Soto said Travis should have performed. I think he should have. I
Yeah,
definitely
Yeah.
think he should have, man. Why was
probably
he?
couldn't. He might have been high.
He might. Did you notice that when Jay was doing the yeet, Travis was just standing there like, I'm too cool for this corny shit, man. I'm not yeeting with you. I'm blowing this L and I'm walking to the ring. Like he wasn't even trying to do it, man. Oh man, but yeah. Somebody asked on TikTok, I want to get their name to be for sure. Dink008 says, do you think the three, KO, Seth Rollins, and Drew, are gonna join forces? Let me get your thoughts on that, Coach.
That could be a great trio right there. I can see that happening down the line. You know,
Common enemies.
yeah, I can see that happening down the line. That's usually how groups connect.
Could that be the new Shield, Chuck?
Ooh,
I wouldn't say New Shield, but that definitely Crash Out Crew.
Definitely crash out. Definitely. They gonna black out on everybody, especially now that Seth done lost. He's gonna be on some crazy revenge tour. I see that coming.
We just need KO
Yeah.
because Drew lost, and that was the worst part about this match was I thought they aesthetically was like it looked like it was going to be a great match. It just wasn't.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it looking like a great match.
Like
I feel
Jay came out with the fresh cut, new outfit. Drew came out looking solid, and then it just meh.
I feel like Drew had more on the line that he probably should have won that match.
Yeah. Shout out.
I feel like that about the last match.
Shout out Jonathan on TikTok. Perfect timing. He says, did y'all talk about Hogan yet getting booed in the arena? That's what we at right now. He makes his monkey. He brings his monkey A to the ring with Jimmy Hart with the bullhorn. Crowd boos him to hell. Man, I don't think WWE was expecting that. They
I was so proud of LA.
building.
I was
Out
rolling.
the building. And a lot of people want to know, because people who watch our show, they know that Hogan is on my Mount Rushmore. How do I feel about this? Let me just get mine out the way first. I am not a fan of all the personal things Hulk Hogan has been doing, but I refuse, just like I refuse to not play I Believe I Can Fly or any R. Kelly's old tracks. That's his art. And I refuse to delete that art, because without that art, I wouldn't be here today. So yes, he's still on my Mount Rushmore list, but no, I do not agree with nothing he has been doing personally. I would boo y'all right by y'all's side in that arena. I do not like Hogan in WWE. I don't think it is it's not a good sign of change, bringing the same old crap back. You know what I mean? If you want change, if you want to separate yourself from Vince McMahon, they're tied to the hip. You need to cut Hogan off as well. But Chuck, your thoughts on the Hulk Hogan segment?
Real fast. So what you're saying is you're just a fan of his wrestling, but not the person.
Exactly.
Oh, see, we on the same thing. I've never liked his wrestling or the person, but I always thought you was standing by the person. And I was like, wait a minute, like the dude is pretty up.
Right.
But no. We cool. But as far as this, I think I texted in our group chat was like, I'm so proud of you, LA. Way to boo that man. Why was he even there?
Right.
Coach.
Man, Abe had a great tape. I definitely agree with what you said, man. They gotta cut ties if they trying to present a new era. Um, Hulk Hogan has no leg in any fight or any standing. I don't know what he got going on behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure nothing. But he definitely could just,
Was
stay
that a
gone.
handicap joke on how he wobbled out when you say he doesn't have any legs to stand on? Because I noticed that too. I have bad ankles myself, so I noticed these
Oh,
things.
I
He
noticed
did
that,
have a hard time walking.
and I noticed that T-move flag that Jimmy was holding too, because it was a little small.
It was
It
a
was a
little
little
small,
small.
man. Ron
But
T says LA stood on business and Hogan is no longer good for it. Definitely.
definitely not. Definitely not. They gotta let that go.
They got to let that go, man. No more Hogan in 2025, man. Let's get rid of that, man.
No, period. Just let him go.
Let that man go, man. Let that man go. We got a lot of little segments we can get to towards the end, but the main event, to me, this was the best match. This was the best match, and if a PLE somewhere was cheated out of this match, and it was given to a Monday Night Raw because this was an incredible match. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, the winner. CM Punk goes over, debut, Monday Night Raw, Netflix. I am not a CM Punk fan, but I am going to acknowledge that he is starting to work in WWE. He's starting to pay off. He's starting to get over. The match with Drew McIntyre, one of the matches of the year on our Holy end of the year awards. So he's cooking in the ring. You know what he can do on the mic. I'm starting to let CM Punk back into my world as me being a fan of him. But Coach, your thoughts? I seen you put up the X.
Let me tell you, man. I always been like a CM Punk fan. I was definitely I understood why this was the main event
Yeah,
once the match started. I didn't understand it in the beginning of the show, but once everything progressed, I was like, okay, I see, I get it now. Start heavy, end heavy, So it was definitely a great match. I don't know who I really wanted to win, but I felt like I was good either way. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I feel like they both did their thing. I was good either way. So it was definitely a phenomenal match. I'm good with it. And like you said, it should have been a PLE match, but like I was telling you in the beginning, this was a PLE in itself. So it was much
definitely
needed.
much needed. Chuck, your thoughts? CM Punk, Drew McIntyre main event.
I honestly went into this feeling Seth needed to win, considering if CM Punk loses, it still would have been like, well, yeah, I taught you everything you know. Like he could still like walk off with the confidence of I'm still CM Punk. But as the match went on, and after the end of it, and I realized how many eyes was on this Netflix show. Like we talked about, it was just a glorified. We're on Netflix now. It has so much attention on it. I don't want to say WrestleMania ish, but it's more eyes than it's been on the brand for a while. And for CM Punk to go over, I think it was one of those WWE acknowledging like we got trust in you again, and that was the one thing he said is I've never headline WrestleMania, but you just headlined the first show that's seen visually everywhere. If that makes any sense, and that was my thoughts.
I agree. I agree. Shout out to Soto619. He's in California, so he was there live. He's saying that being there, the boos for Hulk Hogan were way louder. And he also says the main event should have ended in a DQ or a cheated finish. Letting Seth get the the loss kind of diminishes him a little bit. I kind of agree with that. I would have rather had a DQ, but it's a premiere show. A lot of people would have hated that. So, but I
You know,
understand what you mean, Soto.
you know what I think? I believe that it's been proven that you can still believe in Seth even when he take an L.
Hmm. Good
You know what
take.
I'm saying?
Good take.
So with that being said, I don't think it would have been the same way if CM Punk would have took the L because he's still trying to replenish his name back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to Wrestle Rant on TikTok. He in the chat over there. Yo, one of the funniest luchadors on the planet Earth. If you ain't following him, make sure you go follow him. Wrestle Rant on TikTok. Chuck.
I was gonna say, when Drew beat CM Punk before they did the whole Hell in a Cell thing, it didn't diminish CM Punk at all,
Yeah.
and none of us wanted to see him do another match. It was just like, all right, he lost, cool. And for CM Punk, it's I've my track record proves who I am. So I don't. That's what I was saying. I didn't feel like he needed to dub because he can always be like, "Well, I trained you. Of course you're going to do this well." And keep going on being CM Punk. Fans are still going to say his name when he goes to the building. He's like one of those. I don't want to say legacy acts because he's still technically current wrestling, but you know what I'm saying. He's one of those guys like he goes back in the back, wait 2-3 weeks, come back, his music pop, you're going crazy again.
Right. Was me and Jonathan, shout out Jonathan on TikTok, but were we the only two people pissed off that we got hyped up like Penta was about to debut on Raw, but didn't even show up. But it seems like they are making him Chad Gable's opponent for next Monday Night Raw. Was anybody else disappointed Penta didn't show up? Nah, not so much. Just me and Jonathan.
They only have these 4 matches up though.
Oh man, Penta should have been there, man. That'd have been something, at least something fresh and new. Like I said, this show just felt like everything we've been getting, just with a lot better makeup. You know, I don't know.
I think they were going for what they
Thank you,
always
Chrissy.
do.
Chrissy says I was. Thank you.
You gonna search for that one, like
Oh man, my bad, Chuck. Go ahead. What you saying?
I think they WWE did what they always do whenever their face was doing something new. They're trying to get eyes that like if I've never watched or if I was an old fan and I'm coming back and I can see familiar stuff instead of let's just do something new. They're like, let's stick to what we know.
Yeah.
And that's not always a good thing. And I'm guilty of, even though it's the Paul Levesque era, I thought they were gonna do something new, but they stuck to what they always do, which is the reason why I think why a lot of people feel like this is lackluster, because for a year, what's it been, year and a half, a year, he's been doing stuff differently than Vince. And then right when you have the biggest all eyes on you, let's see what you're gonna do with this new streaming service, and you go do the same thing that he would have did. For only thing different was aesthetically it looked like it's been looking, but the card was old school, old school, old school, old school, old school. Good match, old school, old school. Decent match, old school, old school. Terrible match, old school, match of the year.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. I agree with you, man. But on a scale of 1 to 10, tonight's debut, or yesterday, this is morning after, I forgot. Yesterday's debut, Monday Night Raw on Netflix, scale of 1 to 10. Coach, what you giving it?
Man, I'm gonna go with the 10.
10.
I'm gonna go with the 10. Look, you had weed smoking through the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solo dropping the N bomb. I don't know if anybody heard that.
You're right. You sure
Yes.
did.
So, you have Hulk Hogan getting booed.
Yep.
Man, what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
Perfect 10.
Perfect 10. Chuck, your thoughts? 1 to 10.
I'm going for match wise, I'm going with an 8. And for production wise, I'm going with a 10.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you're gonna do it.
Key word there was match wise, I'm going 8.
All right.
Going with
But
a split,
visually, how it looked, aesthetically, I'm going 10. I thought this production wise, like I said, with the drones and everything else, it looked fantastic. It didn't. It not some of the matches and segments didn't execute right, but aesthetically, it looked great.
Let me tell y'all what I'm looking forward to though. With the way that it's set up now, I cannot wait till they represent Logan Paul in this type of segment.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
is
God,
interesting.
that's gonna be next level.
What you gonna say, Chuck?
Trying to think of how to say this. Um, this didn't feel like 3 hours.
It did to me because I was sleeping in the mud.
It did to me. I was about to say I was tired.
Like SmackDown, I felt that third hour in SmackDown. Maybe it's because of the CM Punk and Seth match was going on, to where I didn't feel like the third hour. Like the first hour felt slow, like they were getting kicked into it, but like I was kind of into the Ulafala match, but the middle was the only part that was kind of boring to me. But the middle was usually always boring for Raw for me. But that third hour didn't. Maybe it was just me, but the middle was like right when I started feeling sleepy, they kicked off the third hour. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm back into it.
Would you give the rating? Chuck, Coach gave it a 10. Would you give it?
I said match wise and card wise, I went with an 8, but visually, aesthetically, for like production wise, I went a 10.
I got Ron T is giving it an 8. He says it didn't feel better than SmackDown, but he does expect next week's to be better. I do too. I think next week will definitely be better. I gave the show. Well, I started at a 2. I'm gonna be honest. I started at a 2.
Hey.
I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm gonna be quite honest. I got the feel. I had the same pissed off feeling I had after Saturday Night Main Event. That's what I had, afterwards, once I let it digest. So I started at a 2. I'm glad this is the morning after because I had the time to sleep on it. Now I'm up. And that 2, the production level took it 3 more points, gave it a 5. And then Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins and CM Punk did, that was just an incredible match. I gave it 2 more points, so I'm at a 7. It was a 7 show for me, but if I did this right after, it'd have been a 2. You're lucky I went to sleep, WWE.
Oh, we would have did it right after. I would have said production wise was a 10, and match wise was a 4. But I said, I slept on it, and I'm agreeing with you. You had to sleep on it. Production wise, I thought visually it looked great.
That's why I'm glad we do morning after now. You don't get that crazy irate take that you usually get. We're more calm, relaxed, had a cup of Joe, little breakfast, a little more sensible, Ron T says, I was checking the clock, felt like 3 hours. That was a 3-hour show.
Yeah,
I felt every minute of that. I'm sorry. I felt every minute of that. SmackDown, maybe not. SmackDown flowed a little better,
That's because of the day.
Yeah.
It's a Monday versus a Friday. So Monday, exactly. you got work, you got all this other stuff. You're looking at the clock like, yo, you was just up late the night before because you was watching that incredible win from the Lions, and then you had to go back to back. So
right. Before we get out of here, just quick couple shout outs. Shout out Soto 619. He says, as long as they don't put Penta in LWO, I'm cool with that. I want Ray versus Penta in Lucha Underground. And then Jonathan says, I am looking forward to Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria next week for the IC title. I am too.
Yeah, that's gonna be big.
That's gonna be big. That's gonna be big. But I guess that's it for us. Raw morning after show. Next time you will see us all will be maybe tonight. I don't know yet. Got to talk to Ryan. Or it may be tomorrow morning for a morning after NXT. But till then, it's your boy ABE from DET.
It's your boy King Coach. See y'all, man. What's good? Let's go. I'm excited for this new era.
100%.
My name's Chuck Jordan.
And you've been tuned in to the Holy Shhh Podcast morning after Monday Night Raw. See you tomorrow, NXT. Or tonight. I don't know.